on this topic. Now, the 2025 Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit has opened today in Tianjin, bringing together more than 20 leaders. Key issues on the table include regional security, counterterrorism, trade, energy, food security, and new frontiers such as cyber defense, artificial intelligence, and Belarus's membership. In latest developments, Russian President Vladimir Putin has held a positive conversation with Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and discussed Russia's recent contacts with the U.S., with Chinese President Xi Jinping as well. Now, according to Kremlin and Putin aides, the summit started strongly with significant attention on President Putin, though he has yet to meet Azerbaijan's President Aliyev, and President Xi hosted a toast at the welcome banquet, while volunteers contributed their energy and vigor to support the summit's events. The final day of the 2025 SCO Summit is on September 1st. That will focus on formal sessions, key speeches, and adoption of major documents, including the Tianjin Declaration and a 10-year development strategy. Leaders will discuss regional security, economic cooperation, and cultural exchanges under the Shanghai spirit. Chinese President Xi Jinping will deliver a keynote on peace and cooperation in the global south, with other leaders including President Vladimir Putin. Informal bilateral talks may continue on the sidelines. Now, for this discussion, we are joined by Keith Vaz. He's a former UK minister, joins us live from North Africa, and our other guest, Andrew KP Long. He's a China strategist, joins us live from London. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, Keith, looking at Russia and Ukraine's war, with the Ukraine war and Russia war high on this agenda, what role can China realistically play in influencing Russia's stance? Do you think there is a strategic benefit for China in maintaining the status quo rather than pushing for any solution there?
Well, you're addressing your question to me, right?
Right, Keith is not with us, so Andrew, thank you for staying with us. Please, may I repeat the question?
Hello?
Yep, Andrew, should I repeat the question?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. I think that as far as Ukraine is concerned, China is walking a very tight rope, because the respect for countries' sovereignty is the central core of China's policy. For example, over Taiwan and over China's claimed territories, the Indian border. So territorial integrity is a core tenet of China's national policy. But then Ukraine, of course, is a recognized country by the United Nations, and obviously, it was invaded. China cannot be seen to be in support of what Russia is doing. But on the other hand, China and Russia are almost joined by the hip. Not so much that they are wanting to form a bloc against the United States, but then the two countries' economies are extremely complementary. Russia, one of the world's largest exporters of energy and agricultural products, and China remains the world's largest customer. So this relationship has been going on for decades, for many, many years. But on the other hand, it's not as if everything is on all fours. Obviously, there is a degree of rivalry of influence between Russia and China in the Caucasus. And of course, in if you look at the history, a large part of the Russian Far East was seized from China during China's Qing dynasty by the Tsars during Catherine the Great, during the Russian dynasties. So I think that there is a lot of historical backdrop to this a kind of caution. But on the other hand, China, as I said, has been, the economy is extremely complementary, and it continues, of course, buying oil and energy from Russia, because that's been going on for ages. But China is being accused of helping the war But of course, for China, this is part of the close economic relationship, which has existed in decades, well before the war. But Donald Trump is now trying to differentiate China's purchase of Russian oil from what India is doing, because India is also profiting from buying cheap oil from Russia and possibly on sale, selling this oil to other nations. And Trump is imposing huge tariffs on India. The distinction is that, of course, before the war, India didn't buy any oil from Russia to speak of with. And obviously, India was seen to be profiting from the war. And that's why Trump is imposing tariffs on India. But as far as the China-Russian relationship is concerned, I don't think that they are likely to be someone who's can drive a wedge in between them. As I said, the two countries are extremely complementary. And now, because of what Trump is doing, the two countries are even pushed even closer together, reminiscent of the warning by Brzezinski, Kissinger's mentor, in this seminal book called The Grand Chessboard back in 1997.
Right. Thank you very much, Andrew, for joining us and sharing that insight. Always great hearing from you. Now we move on to Middle